Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. Alongside my guest this morning, Mr. Majid Jamiu, Executive Editor, Upshoot Reports, and Dr. Jide Johnson, Deputy Provost, NIJ. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. This morning.
It's great to have you guys.
It's good to be back home.
Exactly. Dr. Johnson, we've not seen him in weeks.
Yeah.
And Majid, you can see that there's a...
It's refreshed.
And looking a bit more distinguished.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank you very much for the compliment.
Thank you very much. Now, a lot is going on the political horizon. Saturday, we're going to be having a number of elections, running simultaneously. But before then, before Friday, there's the news about, can one refer to it as the crisis within the APC? Well, I don't think so. Maybe one should just limit it to what we have, which is that there seems to be a not seeing eye to eye between the APC chairman, who is an Edo State indigen and a former governor, and the sitting governor. So that's to one side. We've heard back and forth from both sides. But now the APC governors have gotten in on the act, so to speak, and are actually demanding action. They've demanded, for instance, that an NWC be convened. Let me find out from my guest what this means. How significant is this? Domestic affairs, or is this something that we need to pay a bit more attention to? Who should I kick off with? Well, both of you are journalists. There's no politician here. Okay, MJ. Give me your read.
It might sound a bit small, like a family affair, but I think the PDP should be jubilating now. It's a serious, serious crisis in APC. And the governors...
But it's just one state.
It's not just one state.
Okay.
You can say it is Edo, but it's having a reverberating effect because the chairman, the national chairman of the party is involved. And a lot of people, and that's why the Progressive Governors Forum are intervening. I mean, they issued a firm statement yesterday, signed by the Director General of the organization, saying that the chairman, Adams Oshiomhole, should convene a NEC meeting or resign. I mean, if it's restricted to the state,
Executive Council meeting.
Yes, yeah. If it's restricted or localized to Edo, I mean, they won't be intervening in that manner because they actually made reference. I mean, they laid credence to what happened in Zamfara. Zamfara is 100% APC state, and on a platter, it's now being controlled by the PDP. Now, the same thing happened in Rivers, intractable. It could not manage the crisis between Amechi and his man Friday, Senator Magnus Abbey. And APC didn't even make a showing from House of Assembly up to governorship level. So, and now in Bayelsa, because of the distraction from Edo, is busy fighting Obaseki. The court just ruled yesterday that the deputy governorship candidate has been disqualified. And what it means, in essence, is that you cannot run alone on your own ticket without a deputy. That was the law says, which means APC might, except the court intervenes between today and 12 noon to tomorrow, Friday. The APC might not be running in Bayelsa because instead of paying attention to national issues into 36 states plus Abuja, is busy quarreling with the person, quote-unquote, installed as governor because he wants to dominate.
Well, Jide,
so it goes beyond the Edo State.
Jide, your
I don't think that if you look at those that put up the party system, there are institutions within the party. You have the National Executive Council of the party. You have the National Working Committee of the party.
You have the party ESCO.
And then you have the Board of Trustees of the party. Now, if you talk about the National Working Committee, there are members of the National Executive Committee that always have meetings. That means that they meet either weekly or what have you. They, like the national chairman, the deputy national chairman, the national secretary, the organizing secretary, the publicity secretary. There are about 7 or 8 of them. That's why they call them the National Working Committee. So the word working is a present participle that talk about continuous aspect. So National Working Committee. So is that committee working? Does it have to take the progressive governor for them to call for the National Working Committee to have a meeting? You see, like Mojit said, it is easy to achieve success, but to manage success is a critical problem. And I think that APC need to learn from what happened to PDP. What happened to PDP is that the center could not hold, and people were becoming bigger than the institution of the party. Now, let's take a key from Zamfara, which he talked about in Zamfara State. Where don't we have crisis? You know, the former governor of Zamfara State threatened the national chairman that if he's the true son of his mother, he should come to Zamfara. Now, let's go to Imo State. Let's go to Ondo State. Let's go to Ogun State. Let's go to Rivers State.
Adamawa.
Let's go to Adamawa State. You look at that, the party could not manage its internal crisis, and it affected the electoral fortune of the party. Now let's now come to, they say charity begins at home. My view, if you cannot manage your home, you are not fit to be a leader. If you can't be the husband of your wife and the father of your children, how can we make you to be the elder in the community or the elder in the church? And that just as a criteria for you to become a bishop. You must manage your home very, very well. So if the national chairman of the party is having a running battle with the governor of his state, you know, don't forget that they just sent emissary to the Oba of Lagos. There was a meeting that took place in the house of the governor, whereby, in the house of the national chairman, whereby the governor was echoed, and people that attended that meeting were echoed.
Including the Oba of Lagos.
Including the Oba of Lagos. So I think, and they said it was the talk that was brought. No one has been prosecuted. I think that what the other governors have done is the right step in the right direction.
Okay.
Because the chairman himself, when was the last time he called the NEC meeting? When was the last time he had a National Working Committee? If you don't allow institutions to thrive, you have crises, you have issues. And when issues are not attended to, they turn to crisis. Now, the issue of Oshiomhole and Obaseki could have been addressed over time. But because the issue was not addressed, it has now turned to a full-blown crisis that, if not properly managed, you see a situation whereby the party will cascade into two, and it will not be good fortune for the party. Where the party should be concentrating on how to prosecute the election in Kogi State and Bayelsa State. You know what the party is facing now? The party is facing
the consolation of
Oshiomhole and his own chosen successor.
And the situation in Edo looks like an intractable situation, because the issue, the art of compromise that we hear a lot about, that seems to be very, very scarce over there.
You see, I think I'm going to speak Yoruba here. I know the doctor will be able to translate. There is this adage in politics that says that you can't put a governor, even if you install him, you can't put him on your lap and be spoon-feeding and be giving him feeding bottle that he should be ruling. No, the moment he becomes governor, he is governor, except he does not know his onions. Yeah.
Because he sworn the oath.
Only one state is an exception. And I would say Lagos. Because of, and you see, if you want to emulate Asiwaju, you need to come and take those lessons from Bodilon on how to still be relevant after leaving office since 2007. So if you attempt to do it, you see, we have the case of Akpabio and Udom Emmanuel. Akpabio didn't want a politician to succeed him. He went to Zenith Bank to pick one of the executive directors, Udom Emmanuel. Udom Emmanuel ran Akpabio out of town. He even made sure that he lost the Senate seat. In fact, that one is even, it took some 2 or 3 years before that could happen. In the case of Anambra, Obi also went into the banking system to go and pick Obiano, who does not have electoral value, quote and unquote, so to say, so that, I mean, he can remain at the background. Only 3 months. Obiano ran Obi out of town with all his pedigree and what have you in Anambra State. So for Oshiomhole to understand that, you see, when Oshiomhole was governor, he was having running battles with the former chairman of the party, Oyegun, who was also from Edo State. So he had his way as governor. So now you installed Obaseki. He went to Dangote to bring, Obaseki was with Dangote Group. I mean, see, the mistake people make, I have worked closely with a governor, and I know the kind of powers that these governors have. The moment they become governor, they have control over the structure of the party. Now, Saraki was able to manage that with Abdul Fattah. But at the end of the day, the two of them lost out. You see, that's why I said it is only Lagos that is an exception. Even Ambode gave a very good fight before he relaxed. So, now, if you install anybody as governor, just allow that person to be. Because no governor will want to sit and fold his arms and allow any other person to control the assembly. This is where the crisis started. And Obaseki got a court ruling to validate what he did with the House of Assembly. And that's where the crisis started. And I expect that Oshiomhole, as a leader and as a father of the party, will not allow that to fester, will not allow that issue to develop to a full-blown crisis, like Doctor said. So now we have a full-blown crisis.
Yes.
Right.
Now everybody is involved.
Everybody is involved. And it's causing a major distraction.
I
mean, where all of them should be facing the last rally, the grand finale of the rally in Kogi and Bayelsa. They are thinking of reconciling Oshiomhole and Obaseki.
And that's a problem. I hope this situation, Jide, is not too far gone. I spoke earlier about the lack of compromise. Now that it is out there, quote unquote, in the marketplace, so to speak, what are the options? Because what are the options, to your mind, to restore normalcy? And as both of you have pointed out, a focus on the business of a political party, which is to win elections and provide good governance.
I think, like Moji said, it's for all would-be godfathers to learn from what and the approach with which Achiwaju does his thing in Lagos. Like he pointed out, and in Lagos, no governor is micromanaged.
That is it.
No governor is hardly do you see Achiwaju in Alausa. How does he send to them? He doesn't micromanage them. Now, one of the challenges others have had is to micromanage. To micromanage their successor. Achiwaju does not micromanage his own successor. And I think it's a lesson to be learned for every one of them. Every one of them that are tried.
I beg your pardon. Could I, forgive me for interrupting you, but Mohammed in Abuja just called in, and I didn't want to lose him. Good morning, Mr. Mohammed.
Good morning, Uncle Uri.
Thank you for calling in, sir. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Sir, about the APC crisis.
Yes.
Like you people are all your guests, they are doing media trial. Because to me, as a member of APC, all the problems we have in APC originated by the leadership of Oyegun, who, as his tenure as a chairman, he organized the so-called Kangaroo Congress, which is resulted to the crisis we are facing today in APC.
Okay. Okay.
Hello?
We can hear. We're still with you.
Yes. You know what people are just putting the complaint of Zampara or what happened in Adamawa or
Yes.
on Oshiomhole.
Yes.
No, what happened in Zampara and Adamawa is originated from the congresses. The Kangaroo Congresses under Oyegun, which Oshiomhole came to try to rectify it, and it was stopped by the governors at that time. At the same time now, we are talking of Bayelsa and Kogi, that the crisis in Edo is assaulting the national chairman instead to go to. No, nothing. The national chairman is busy doing campaign for the APC, both Kogi and Bayelsa. This thing that is happening, what the governor is doing is wrong. The governors are hijacking our democracy. They are doing what they want. It's not why we are here. You know that now, only in Edo State, that 9 members consult in the House of Assembly, and nobody is talking about it. We want our democracy to survive. We know, as a politician, we know what is happening. The governors are now hijacking our democracy, doing what they want, both PDP or APC. So we have to do something. If you, as a journalist, you know what is happening. all the media houses, when they are talking now, putting the blame on Oshiomhole, they are not seeing what the governor is doing or what the governors are doing.
All right, then.
So for us to save the democracy, we have to rectify all these things.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed, for calling in and sharing those views. He's saying there's always an alternative viewpoint, and he thinks that we're completely ignoring such an alternative viewpoint, which he has.
I like what Mohammed has done. Is to throw light to it, and I'm sure he's listening in the background. Is to ask him, there are institutions of the party. I've asked this question. How many times has Oshiomhole called the National Executive Committee meeting of his party? How many times has Oshiomhole had his National Working Committee party? You know, people run institutions like fiefdom, like it's their personal estate. There are institutions, go to the constitution of the APC, it will tell you about how issues are dealt with. I've told you, in crisis communication, we say once issues are not dealt with, it becomes crisis. Now, what we have now is, we are not even talking about Nigeria. We just made reference to every part of Nigeria. We are talking about Edo State, State where the governor and the national chairman is from. A meeting was held in the house of the Edo State, and my royal father was echoed. A sitting governor was echoed. And no arrest has been made. Nobody was sanctioned. Nobody was suspended. Are you getting my point? So when you don't allow institution of your party to function, you have this type of issues.
Okay, but MJ, Majid, just in case anybody that we use that shortcut for, but I forget myself that we're actually on air. So, Majid, Mr. Mohammed's point of view, and thank you very much, Jide, for that. He's taking the crisis that you people are not looking at where this whole thing is coming from. It's coming from the former APC chairman.
See, in fact, I actually wanted to respond to what Mohammed said. You see, I'm happy that he raised that issue. And you see, I'm also happy that the people at the center of this are all from Edo.
Okay.
Oyegun was former chairman.
Mr. Mohammed, could you hold on, please? We'll be right with you. We've lost Mr. Mohammed. I mean, sorry, I beg your pardon. Emmanuel. Mr. Emmanuel, 1 second, please.
And how did Oshiomhole handle the Congress in the state when we had, as governor, when we had Oyegun as chairman? Did he respect Oyegun as chairman when he was governor? And how did he rule? I mean, now he has transformed from being a governor to a former governor and the chairman of the party. And if you gave Oyegun that kind of treatment, you expect a different treatment from Obaseki.
Okay. Well,
no, it won't happen.
Let me go back to that. I know there's more in there, but I'll come back to you. Good morning, Mr. Manuel, and thank you very much for holding on.
Thank you, Mr. Yori. Chief Yori, good morning.
It's just Yori. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much.
And my regards to Jide Johnson.
Sure.
Long time no see.
See no long time. Thank you.
when we don't see Jide Johnson and Professor Samuel, we are always worried. because they dissect it very well.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
The problem in Edo State is Edo is just a unit of Nigeria. We have it all over the country. And like the caller Mohammed said, every problem of APC is supposed to hang on the neck of John Oyegun. He almost spoiled the party. Thank God for the quick arrival of Adams Oshiomhole. That man would have disgraced them in the election of 2019. But thank God for the intervention, that the party quickly intervened and brought in Adams Oshiomhole. That was what saved the situation. The issue in Edo, it is easy to resolve. If the president will come down from his high stool and call them to order, sit down with them on a round table and say, look, stop all this madness. Let us speak with one voice. If not, they will lose Edo State. I've been saying it. They will lose it. PDP is waiting in the wings to feed from their ego. You know, everybody is standing. I'm the master, I'm the master. It will not help them. So they should please come down to reason.
Thank you.
And then thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manuel. So, Majid, you can actually continue because you see that he also continues Mr. Mohammed's, line of thought.
Yes. You see, it's unfortunate that people are blaming.
Because people are seeing the arrival of Oshiomhole on the political horizon as it was a good thing. A strong hand was needed at the time.
Yes, you are brought in to solve a problem. Now, don't add more to the problem. You see, I keep saying that what is happening in Edo is a distraction. You have a whole 36 states. Charity must begin from home. If you cannot resolve, be like a father, concede some things to your governor. It is the governors who funds the parties, not any party chairman. Even the party chairman takes crumbs from these governors. That is the truth. That's the way these structures run. And that's why Obaseki could gather all the 18 party chairmen, all the 18 party chairmen in the local governments to pass a vote of no confidence, because he who pays the piper dictates the tune. Oshiomhole now has, Obaseki has the structure of the party. He's been able to get them at the ward level, at the local government level, and at the state level to pass a vote of no confidence on Oshiomhole. So, if this issue had been nipped in the bud, it wouldn't develop to a crisis.
Okay. So, Mr. George, good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling. Good morning.
Greetings also to Mujid and Doctor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Uncle Yori, please, I want to first remind you that we have not forgotten about our demand for 90 minutes for this program. just before you think we have already forgotten.
Okay, Mr. George, thank you.
All right. Coming to the issue of the day.
Sure.
I'm sorry to disagree with the last two callers who are blaming the crisis in APC on Oyegu. It was so at a time. But that was the reason why Oshiomhole was brought in. Was he brought in to come and consolidate the crisis? He was brought in to solve the problem.
Simple.
But the solution is not yet coming because of his pattern of governance.
Leadership.
I said before that if you can, I agree totally with Dr. Johnson. If you cannot manage your home, you cannot qualify to manage a community. The state where the chairman of APC comes from is in crisis, and he is at the center of the crisis. He has to first demonstrate that he can settle his home before he can settle outside and the country. I said it before, and I'm repeating it again, that the crisis, the pattern of resolution that Oshiomhole is using is wrong. He doesn't appear to be tolerant. What is wrong in allowing Obaseki to run a second term? That is the bone of contention in Edo State. And the man is performing. What is the reason? Why does he want to change him at all costs?
Okay.
That's the truth of the matter.
Okay. All right.
Other APC issues, I wonder, Uncle Yori, is Asiwaju Tinubu still in that party? Why would people like that stand by and allow things to degenerate to this level? I'm just thinking aloud.
Sure.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you very much for calling in. And it's a pertinent question. What do you guys think about that particular aspect to the whole thing? You've noticed, somebody just suggested, was it inside here or from home, that, look, yeah, it was Emmanuel, that if the president were to intervene, that's on one level. Now, Mr. George has also brought up the whole matter about, wait a minute, the national leader, we've not heard from him at all. Is that as should be, Ajide?
Those are institutions of the party, we have said it. Those are the institutions of the party. There was a meeting in which, and that was brokered by Dangote.
Yes.
That we saw the images from Aso Rock, where the governor, the national chairman, and Dangote was in the middle, and then the governor of Ekiti State, the chairman of the Governors Forum.
Yeah.
Are you getting my point? Are we saying there are no levels of intervention? Intervention must have taken place. Is someone belligerent? Is someone grandstanding, like one of our callers talked about earlier? Is someone not understanding that there's a stage in which you mentor your children and your children begins to mentor you, like daddy, you get to a stage when the child is the father of man and say, daddy, doctor said you shouldn't be eating this type of meat. Don't eat it again. If I come back tomorrow and I see you eating it, that's your children talking to you. And it's a lesson in leadership for us to understand the cycle of life. Understanding that cycle make it to be relevant. Is that cycle, is the understanding of that cycle that Asiwaju understood that makes him to be relevant. Okay, collectively we look for a successor. We look for my successor. This is my successor. You are the governor, run the administration. There's a template, there's a blueprint. Run the administration. And then after 4 years, you come and show your scorecard. If your scorecard is okay, you continue with your second term. If your scorecard is not okay, it's for us to decide. So understanding that cycle, and I think that the chairman still thinks that he's the executive governor. Sometimes he's even think that he's not running a party, he's running a labor union. The way you run a labor union is different from the way you run a party, because the party is made up of caucuses. The party is made up of different interest groups. The party is made up of different individuals with their own different characters. In labor union, you can rewrote your decision. But in party, you build consensus. It's consensus of opinion. And the national chairman needs to understand that there's a need for consensus of opinion. And like someone pointed out, the issue is about second term. The moment this election was completed, this cycle was completed, the House of Assembly crisis started. Inauguration or non-inauguration. 9 plus 18. Are you getting my point?
Actually, that right there, if you're not a politician, you can go ahead and say that's a disgrace.
Yeah, it's an anomaly disgrace, whereby you have the party. The party has majority of the House of Assembly member. 18 were on one side, 8 were on the other side. That's where we know that the issue started from. We should have resolved that issue. And I think the national chairman can solve this problem.
Indeed.
By allowing the National Working Committee to look at this matter. He need to recuse himself from his involvement, because it's a party to the issue. That's why the deputy national chairman should be the one that should share the National Working Committee, for them to look at this thing objectively. Because no individual is bigger than the party.
Sure.
These are the mistakes that PDP made. And Edo State is peculiar about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's how Aneni and Lucky Binedon, you are fighting for the soul of that party.
I'll go off on a break, and when I come back, I'll come back to you, Majid, because the whole matter about why, for instance, haven't we heard the voice of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in this whole matter? Or is that as should be? Because he's been quite reticent on a number of issues that you will be looking for direction, and that, look, maybe if you hear from that sector, you'll get a better sense, and then maybe no more than a few people, maybe his kitchen cabinet, actually know what exactly he's thinking. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and we're still looking at the crisis, one can call it that, in Edo State, actually, and the fact that the governors have come in, and that would seem to sort of accentuate the seriousness of the situation. But, you know, we have two sides to it. Some people have called in and have said that you're not getting it, and you're probably being a bit unfair, putting this at the doorstep of the APC chairman, you know, and then the professor. But others are also saying that, well, you're entitled to your opinion, but the point is there's a case of style involved here, leadership style. And so just before we went away, I think I, sort of, wrestled Jide to the ground in terms of, okay, give me why. It was a question that Mr. George brought up. Why haven't we heard from, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, national leader? I was making the point that sometimes when you don't exactly know what's going on, people say, look, if I can get a signal from here, at least that will be my own supposition. What do you think? First of all, do you agree that it's in the purview of someone like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
No, the thing is, it has grown to become a national matter now. We can't say it's restricted.
Especially as it involves the national chairman.
Yes, and I want to believe that we have party leaders, we have zonal leaders in the south,
South-South.
in the South-South, that should intervene in this matter. in APC.
Okay.
Now, I also believe that, Ashiwaju is a strategist. I mean, he would have been making some moves underground to resolve this crisis. But, Ashiwaju that I know will not come openly and say and address a press conference. Yes, I've called this guy. So, I mean, recall that even Obaseki, the governor, during this crisis in August, during Salah, went to Oshiomole's hometown to pay Salah homage. And after that, a party issued, one of the warring parties issued a statement to say that, well, it's just a picture, so don't think we have resolved the matter. So, I want to believe that Ashiwaju is having an input. Trying to
at least
intervene. I want to believe he's intervening.
He doesn't miss much.
Yeah.
I can imagine. He doesn't miss much. And so far, there's been this reticence.
But like a caller actually also mentioned, I think the president should come in and rein them to order. Because this could further degenerate and actually affect, because people are already gearing up for 2023, like we are saying. Except we want to deceive ourselves, it's a distraction to what the party should be doing in Bayelsa and Kogi. And we have 2 elections in Kogi, the senatorial and the governorship. So it could be a distraction.
Okay. Adebola, Mr. Adebola in Abeokuta, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yari.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Yes. In as much as I respect you very much, you are my brother. I love your program. Uncle Yari, always do something. Stop bringing people that will just justify APC for everything they do. You always bring people like Mojib Jamil. I know Mojib on Journalist Hangout very well. I'm a fan of your TV. But stop giving them chance to come and justify APC mistakes. Nigeria is not APC. Nigeria is a democratic country. Whatever party that fails, let them know they have failed. We are talking about something that is wrong. And they always come on TV to come and justify wrong things. I know what you are talking about today. You said Obaseki and Oshiomhole. Oshiomhole has failed. He's doing wrong thing. Before Oshiomhole become the chairman of APC.
Wait, Mr. Adebola, you can speak like this, but you are saying that other people can't speak their own minds as well.
No, they can. Everybody has opinion.
And so what was your initial complaint? What was your initial complaint that why are you giving certain people...
The other man, apart from Mojib Dami.
Okay, Mojib is your problem. Is Mojib you have an issue with?
I respect him so much. But Mojib Dami, even on Journalist Hangout, your TV shows like you're always support... Because
Okay.
Maybe...
it's okay. It's all right.
Maybe because TVCs belong to us.
Okay, no problem. We take all callers. Are you still there? Oh, dear. You've gone. I just wanted, thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Adebola. And also thank you for disagreeing. But there was no need to personalize it. No. The problem is Majid. That other man, it's not necessary. But nevertheless, we thank you. Because we wanted to go forward to now begin to put your opinion on the ground. The very thing that you are angry that Majid has had about opportunity from. And I don't know, a man has to be consistent. If you say you saw Majid on Journalist Hangout, and you also see him on this program, and there's no variance in his views, I don't know what the complaint is. But it's not, thank you very much once again, Mr. Adebola, for calling in. I don't want us to really spend time coming and
talking about is about the APC.
Well,
so it's central.
According to Mr. Adebola, Majid will always be. In fact, I think he used one expression about trying to correct APC's mistakes. See the load they put on your head.
well, I hope they are paying you consultancy fees.
No. The thing is, we are used to things like this. People want you, and Jide faces the same problem too.
You're talking about Jide.
And you see, I don't get bothered about issues like this.
No. I don't even want us to spend too much time
on this. No. You see, he said, I blamed Oshiomhole. He also started by blaming the same Oshiomhole.
Exactly.
That is what
I don't really get his point.
You can do it, but he can't do it. What kind of democracy is this? Let's not spend too much time on it. But well, he was angry. You know, people have the people that they support. I don't think there's any doubt who Mr. George supports, for instance. I don't think there's any doubt of who Yakub supports, for instance. It goes on and on. I'm not too sure about Mazi Okorafor, but, you know, people, you know, this program doesn't censor anything. You call it the way you see it, and as long as you're not abusive or you don't get personal, it's okay. It might not be comfortable, but it's okay.
You can't argue a man for having his views. And like you said, if someone has a consistent view, that is his ideological belief.
Exactly.
And whether it does not, if you don't share that view,
but he said he enjoys you a lot. He said, that other man, I know, that one is a journalist. Majid he's not a journalist.
He has ideological belief.
Maybe Majid is a politician.
He has ideological belief. Because there's no gainsaying. The issue we are talking about is the issue of APC. And then you must bring in the panel
APC is
someone
the
that has
party.
an inside knowledge.
Yes. No problem.
Someone that has an inside knowledge. So
but
there's nothing wrong with the panel.
Before we got to this point, and we were saying about what are the options now, because we can't, this is a log jam. This can't stay. Something has to give.
Moving forward.
Yes.
Because Masjid raised something which is very, very instructive. The move and the fight towards 2023. If we move out of Edo State now, there is one that is brewing in Ondo State.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
There is one that is brewing in Ondo State. And you know, Edo and Ondo will be they are off-cycle elections.
Yeah.
They are off-cycle, and they are
both next year.
Exactly. They are off-cycle election. So if we don't address the issue of Edo and Ondo, how are we going to address the issue of 2023? Because it's the time of succession. So a lot of APC governors will have completed their 8-year tenure. The president will have completed his 8-year tenure. And then you have different forces. If you can manage this micro force.
So APC needs to get his house in order.
It's important.
Even though APC's house goes beyond Edo, it's still a crucially important part in terms of what's going on. Andy in the UK, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in, Andy.
To your guest.
Thank you.
Good morning.
First, I want to thank you for bringing Deputy Provost, Mr. Jide, in.
Okay. Actually, it's Dr. Jide Johnson.
Dr. Jide Johnson. I've met him personally because of his supreme knowledge, contribution to Nigeria must work and Nigeria must get better. And then I greet your Mr. Majid as well.
Thank you.
Uncle Jide, on Edo matter, why do you want to put fire inside fry pan? By saying if you bring our Asiwaju in from Lagos, that the template is working on, that he has unseated a sitting governor. People, we think that you are trying to rubber stamp what Oshiomhole is trying to do in Edo, and that may further cause crisis. So please leave our Asiwaju here for us in Lagos. I mean, don't get it involved. What works in Lagos? Uncle Yori, we have called before, we've discussed what works in Lagos. Some governors try to emulate it, to set up an emperor or a godfatherism may not work in other places. Whether that is a bad democracy, I don't know, because what is good for Lagos should be good for all Nigerians. But we have seen it so far. It has not worked. It happened in Kano, Gaduje eradicate, or the godfatherism and all that. Anyway, let me come back up to the topic. Uncle Majid has said it all. That Oshiomhole, the statement he gave his former governor and former party chairman.
When he was governor.
When he was governor, is what is receiving. Now, there are two lines to throw here. Either we throw a political line or we throw a development democracy line. Because as we heard, I'm not from Edo, but Edo people are saying Obaseki is working. That is working, that they should allow him to work. But we know, just like our brother Paul and Mr. George said now, that the objective of Oshiomhole is to unseat Obaseki and not let him run for second time. Now, it's causing a lot of embarrassment to this party, the progressive party now. And all governors are now saying that, Oshiomhole, if your house is not in order, how can you or will you be able to put the house of the whole country in order? Bayelsa crisis is there. Election is coming up this Saturday. Kogi election is coming up this Saturday. There are crises in there. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming for calling in. So we go back to the options. Is there going to have to be a tactical withdrawal? Egos are at stake? Because sometimes when in the midst of such monumental problems like this, you'll be surprised how the smallest of aspects of it might be what is holding us all up. So I think it was Emmanuel much earlier on who had said, a bit hyperbolic, but it's a very simple thing to sort this problem out. Let the right elders show sufficient interest, commitment, and sincerity, and let's just sit down and take this problem out. Is that, and that's, by the way, how we got to talking about Asiwaju, just looking for similar people who could call people together and say, let's cut all of this.
I believe the progressive governors, that's the APC Governors, caucus, has taken the right step by wading into this matter. They have asked him to call it NEC meeting. Where
what are Oshiomhole's options? I don't know how he's going to feel about, you guys are trying to force my hand, right?
As it were, his options are limited.
If we're going to move forward.
Yes. Now, take a leadership position, play a fatherly role, allow your governor to have his way, because as it is now, Obaseki has the people with him. He has the party structure in the state.
Do we know that for a fact?
Yes. And whether we like it or not, he has the assembly. So, if you have those structures, because he's the one paying, there's a system where...
How does Obaseki get hold of all those structures that you're talking about for a man who is called a technocrat and not a politician?
No, you see, it's like, how did Udom Emmanuel do it? How did Obiano do it? The powers of a governor are quite enormous. I've passed through that stage before. And I know the powers of a governor are quite enormous. The influence is huge. And his fellow governors will rally around him. And like Dr. Johnson said, Oshiomhole should know that the way you administer leadership, the way you govern, as a labor leader is quite different than the way you try to manage human resources as a chairman of a party. There are caucuses, there are several interests. So
and you have to reconcile all of these.
Yeah, Oshiomhole should understand that. And people would say,
Oshiomhole is not a man without experience.
Yeah, but
so when we're talking like this, I'm wondering what's the man he's accomplished in so many different aspects.
Uncle Yori, when I was very young, my dad would tell me, take your drugs, make sure there are some very bitter drugs.
Yeah.
But today my dad is 80, and I tell him, Daddy, don't forget to take those drugs. So he will say, I said, no, you have to. It is good for you.
Yeah.
You can see
the time comes.
Yes.
The time comes.
And
okay, one moment, please. Dan in Abuja, good morning, sir. They told me Dan was wanting to join us from Abuja, but apparently it's not correct. Dan, the technical guys say you are there, but you can't be there. Because Dan, if you were hearing this, you'd start speaking. So I think there must be a technical issue. Dan is supposed to be on the line from Abuja. Can you see your name there? No, I think the networks are playing. Dan, they just reconfirmed to me that you're on. Oh, he's gone. In between Dan and gone and Dan, I didn't even know which is which. But yes, please.
Andy from UK said something about the options. And I think the option is a political problem.
Either is it
political or developmental.
A political or developmental.
And I think that it's a political solution.
That is going to...
The political solution. How, like Mojit pointed out, how did Oshiomhole function as a governor with his national chairman? the national chairman took a tactic withdrawal and allowed him to run the state. And I think he needs a tactical withdrawal concerning this thing. Because he will be the major loser. You see, I don't know whether our political class, they read books and they watch nature. You see, when a lion gives birth to a lion cub, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
That lion cub.
A lion. Are we talking about us already?
No, a lion.
Okay. We're still.
When I'm still. When a lion gives birth to a lion cub, it's just a matter of time. That lion cub will dethrone the father. We send the father away. And if the father does not understand the transition in power structure, he will be dead.
And it's
you watch now Joe White, he will be dead.
And this is a story from time immemorial.
It's
all over literature. It's all over the scriptures.
So a good leader must understand when to take a tactical withdrawal.
Okay.
I get man. When our parents used to beat us when we were young, you know, you get to a stage, Manuel, and the parent will get to a stage, you just put down your hand. And the man will just be beating himself. When his heart is pounding 160 kilometers per hour, what will he do?
Nobody
will stop.
Okay.
Nobody will tell the father to stop.
Henry, good morning in Abuja. Henry in Abuja,
Hello?
Good morning. Hello, Henry. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning from Lagos, not Abuja.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm so sorry, Henry. I've put you in Lagos now. Henry in Lagos. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Please, I want to comment on Oshiomhole Obaseki. Honestly, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Henry.
Yeah, honestly, your two guests, with all due respect, they are not from Edo State, and I don't think they know what is going on in Edo State.
Are you from Edo State?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and tell us. Go ahead and tell us.
Potential precisely was fine. Oshiomhole has done nothing wrong to Obaseki. Oshiomhole needs continuity in Edo State. Can you hear me?
Continue, Henry.
Oshiomhole needs continuity in Edo State. Obaseki does not have anything to campaign with in his second term election. If he has, let him show it to us. The first government in Edo State history that got development to Edo State is Adams Oshiomhole. If not for Adams Oshiomhole, the upper that those men from Kenya will come to Edo State and be running that road. That place was a dead road, a dead end. There is something called party supremacy. Obaseki and Tilishabu, his deputy, should follow the party supremacy, should know what is going on. There is no single gutter, there is no 10 kilometer, 5 kilometer road that Obaseki has done. Why is he giving us the audio project that he's doing? What project? A good project does not hide, does not sleep. You have to be serious.
So Henry, Henry. So what would be your suggestion, Henry, to resolve this log jam in Edo?
The log jam is that they should just come together as a party. The governor should listen to
his leader.
Hello, Henry.
Yeah, I can hear you. The suggestion is that they should call the other house members together and they should make a proper house sitting. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
To make the proper house sitting. Honestly speaking.
But as you know, there've been many efforts there've been many efforts in that direction, Henry. Henry, because you are from Edo State, I'm giving you, as it were, the opportunity. You say none of us is from Edo State here. We don't know what's going on. You are from Edo State. You know what's going on. What's your suggestion about how to resolve this impasse? And I think you got to.
How to resolve it? Yes. Can you hear me, Mr. Yori?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I think there's a delay.
How to resolve it is one. The city governor should make a public apology to Adams Oshiomhole for disrespecting him on Friday of the lecture of that Iyamo University convocation. On Friday, they went there with their cap, with their shirt, doing
okay. Sure. You think an apology would be in order? Okay.
Then the next day, the Saturday, the convocation day, you expect for so many villagers to keep quiet and be watching there. It's not done.
All right.
We, the Afema people, respect people.
All right.
Obaseki should respect his leader in politics. That is where it goes. That
Sure.
is why the Jagaba of Lagos have loyalty.
Thank you.
Everybody loves the Jagaba. Obaseki should respect the leadership of the party. Or somebody brought him from nowhere. Fine.
Thank you very
Then
much
you
for
can't
calling
tell me
in.
that
Appreciate
they
your
don't
call. We've got to make room for other people, but I want to thank you very much, for calling in. Different strokes. That's okay. In fact, that's what this program is all about. We want to hear what the views are, all the views. It doesn't matter that sometimes we get caught in the middle, but because this has to be resolved one way or the other. The governors have come in on the matter now by requesting, I don't know if it's requesting or demanding, that a meeting be convened. Jide, you were very vocal about the lack of summoning of these meetings, which would have nipped this issue before it even got to this stage. But here we are in it, and I think the important thing, you people have talked about it, it might cost APC if care is not taken. I think you've cited where you think, even though I remember that Mohammed that called in, I think he was the first caller, he said, even all those consequences that you are citing, it's because people don't understand it. So he's saying that if people understood this matter well, then they will see that this is not something that really Oshiomhole, it's not an Oshiomhole problem. And we've heard him. And we've also heard your views. And we've also heard the views from home. And so we'll wait for an opening. We'll wait for there to be a chink, and then we'll take it from there. So we've run out of time. Otherwise, we could spend a lot more time, as Mr. George said. As Mr. George said, this whole matter about where is our own 30 minutes? We need another 30 minutes to make 90 minutes. Then we'll be able to, But thank you very much, Dr. Jide Johnson.
It's a pleasure
and Mr. Majid Jamil. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming on. Okay, so that's our program. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.